Hey, good afternoon, welcome, good morning, good evening. Welcome to another live stream. Here we are coming to you directly from Atascadero, California. Atascadero means mud hole in Spanish, I guess. Had a little swampland here at one time, but it's turned out to be the most beautiful city. Okay, so here we are. Wes is with us. Say hi, Wes.
Hey everybody, how's it going this morning? Hope everyone's doing good. Got a lot of people on here. Got a lot of stuff to talk about, and a bizarre guitar as well. Oh yeah, by the way, if you don't subscribe already, subscribe now. Hit the button, hit the notifications. We go live every Thursday at this time, 11 a.m. Pacific. So yeah, we want you guys to come hang. So definitely hit the subscribe button for us, and then subscribe to the notifications so you get alerted when we have a show. And you also need to comment.
Yes, your comments are very important. It keeps this thing going. Otherwise, we run out of stuff to say. Yeah.
See, he already ran out of stuff to say. He's already out of stuff to say.
Gail's working. Your mom's working the message board. I wanted to mention that.
Yeah. If you don't know what Guitar College is, that's our company that we have tons of guitar videos and stuff for you. Everything you want to know about guitar and jazz guitar, tons of lessons. Check it all out at guitarcollege.com. We also have free lessons, so go there and see if you like any of those free lessons. And then we have some new stuff coming soon. I assure you that.
Yes.
So, anyway.
Yeah. So what we're going to talk about today is this guitar. We're going to also talk about a couple gigs I played. And then we're going to talk about some guitars that are coming in, a couple that I've left, the workshop. Our interview next week is going to be really fun. We've got somebody to interview. We'll talk about that. And we also want to talk about this show a little bit. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a story out there, too, that I'm going to talk about. A recent concert got so hot that the pickups melted. Have you ever heard of that?
Oh, I left all those pickups in the on the dining room table. Hey, Gail, could you bring those out, honey? There's about 4 of them. We wanted to talk about those a little bit later on. Well, that's a little hard to believe, Wes. That must have been hot. Good grief.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so this is our featured guitar. Shall we just get into it, or?
I guess so. Yeah, let's do it.
All right, I bought this guitar. This is a 1955. I've had it a long time. I sometimes look back and think, why did I buy this? But I'll tell you why. I had played one somewhere, and I thought, wow, this thing is really cool. It really sounds good. And then this came up on Reverb. Again, it's a 1955. It's got 3 pickups. Ted Green loved the Guilds. And, oh, great, honey, thank you. He loved the Guilds, and I remember him, I've seen a video. I don't remember him playing one of these. So I'm playing a video, and, he's talking about all these musical things, and then somebody starts asking him about these knobs. And he's like, really? You want to know all about the knobs? Okay. But these knobs are a trip. And who played one of these is Barry Gibb in the Bee Gees. And I'm going to show you why this guitar is so sought after, really. It really is. It's a hidden gem. Now, I want to tell you what I had done with this. first off, I had him, my luthier friend in Fresno, shave this neck down because it had a 50s neck that was, you know, the V neck, and it was just a big, fat, lard-ass neck. And so he shaved it down. He had to shoot the neck. You might as well refret the thing, too. So he had to refret it. He fretted it all, got that neck straight. And so that was done, refretting the neck, shaved down on its width. The guy who had it before me had replaced the original P90s with the Lawler pickups, and so they're quiet, and this thing gets so many different sounds. It's crazy. Now, I left the bridge on here to be the original. What do you call that, Wes? You call that a rosewood bridge. And the reason is because I wanted that 50s sound. And it does get it. Now, I'm running through a Ernie Ball distortion pedal. And this is the... now it's completely off, the pedal. But listen to the configurations of these switches here. It's really a trip. Actually, let me get a piece of metal here. Let me find a screwdriver here so we can make sure what pickups are on and which are not. Okay, so this pickup right here, that position is just for the front pickup. And listen to this. Nice, big, fat, throaty sound. On this particular guitar, the tone control is not working. So it's kind of wide open, which is fine with me. By the way, the opening song I played is called Stop That Blues, which is on the Guitar College Library. All right, now the next position, check this out. Listen what this sounds like. So that's just the middle pickup. Let's all play Brown Eyed Girl. And then here's the back pickup. Now we start getting into combinations. That guy there is that one and that one. Kind of a neat little, kind of a mellow sound. Then this position. Oh, that's a funky little nope. That one. And that one. So these two guys. And then our last position is that pickup and that pickup. And then this is what we get. And by the way, these are 10s round wound on here, which is kind of a nice sound. All right, I'm going to play another blues thing just for the heck of it. And this is called, what is this called? Oops, I'm in the wrong spot here. This is called, jeez, what is this thing called? Blue Minor. I'm going to use this back pickup sound. A wonderful, kind of a fun guitar. Anyway, I've had this a while. I don't know what I'm doing with it. Maybe I'll sell it. I don't know. But anyway, I just wanted to share it. Wes was looking through the closet, and I said, I don't think we ever did anything on this particular guitar. And so there it is.
Well, are you going to play jazz on it? It's not made for jazz at all? Or
well, I've got the action a little high and stuff on it, you know.
I probably would have rethought my choice on that had I known you were not going to play any jazz. But yeah, cool.
Yeah, well, I bought it for the old rock and roll sound, you know. So that's why. So I was thinking about doing tunes from 1955. That'd be kind of fun, wouldn't it? Just some tunes from 1955 and do it on this guitar.
Yeah, this is gonna be fun.
Oh, Dave had a interesting thing. How did the binding remain intact? Well, it's been rebound. So that's how. So when you buy some of these old guitars, man, everything, if they're not properly cared for, boy, everything kind of goes to hell on them. Frets pop in and out, binding goes south. So anyway, yeah, I've got some other guitars that we can play a little jazz on in a bit. Okay, well, before we end this, Wes, let's take a look at the back of this, because it's kind of pretty. Isn't that a pretty back? So it's a plywood top, plywood all around. It's like actually this guitar right in back of me, a Gibson 350. Okay, that's enough of that then. Let's move on.
Okay.
Any questions or anything out there? Why don't you do a little roll call? See who's here.
Yeah. Okay. Mark R's here. Mark El Guitaro. I just got a Fender Acoustasonic 40 watt with 2 by 6.5. Why don't you switch guitars while I'm doing all this?
Okay.
40 watt and Fender Acoustasonic. Hey, El Guitaro 69. Sorry, that was a lot. Rob, what's up? Rob's in Wisconsin. Big Steve in Olympia. Don Bedreau in Maine. How's it going, Don? Mike Brandenberger down in Dallas. Hey, guys, who doesn't love lots of switches? We like choices, he says. Gordon in the UK, Birmingham. What's going on, Gordon? Mark Larkin still gigging every week. Good to see you, Mark. Hey, Jim. Good morning, lovers of the 6-string. Kirby, how's it going? Lefty 54,
Kirby.
That's Arthur in Granbury, Texas. What's up, buddy? Greg Gray, how's it going, Greg? Adrian's here. John Smith says, Guild's answer to the ES5. Wonder how many they made of them.
That's a good question.
Yeah, there's not many out there. Let's see. Lachlan's here. What's up, Lach? How's it going, brother? And Tom, how's it going, Tom? Daniel said, the weirder the better. He said, probably perfect for a Jack White cover gig. That is a fact. The brand new, oh man, I'm a big fan of Jack White. He's a good artist. John Smith says, I just saw that you have Epiphone controls there, straight from the Emperor Zephyr and all that. Is that, I don't know. Does the Zephyr have a bunch of switches on it?
I think that was, anything with 3 pickups at the back in that day. I think they used that big switch. Switch is huge.
Susan says, good morning, Susan Nordrum. Just finished my morning workout. The scales are a lot of fun with your backing tracks. Awesome.
That's Lewis.
Hey, Lewis. How's it going, man? Blake's here. Dave's here. Dave's in West Hollywood. Blake, how's it going? Good to see you, buddy. David Moore. I think we got everyone. Andrew in New Jersey and Rolf. Yeah, hi there. Columbia's here too. Good to see you, Rolf. And then, yeah, if you're wondering about the morning workout, that's this little course here that we have at guitarcollege.com/store. And it's just a bunch of exercises and scales that kind of just get gradually harder and harder as you go, and there's backing tracks to go with it, so it keeps you in time and just forces you to kind of get better quickly.
Yeah, it's an excellent way to build your chops.
Yeah, so break off like 15-20 minutes every morning of this, and in 3 weeks you'll be like, whoa, man, I'm a lot better than I was 3 weeks ago, that's for sure. So, yeah, it's all available at the Guitar College store, along with all of our other newest courses that we have here. So, go check it out.
Yeah, man. So, this is our Eagle Classic, brand spanking new. Nice, sweet guitar, huh? Yeah, we have gotten several Eagles over the years and have passed them on. And this is one left. Hopefully we'll be getting a blonde one in soon. Remember the X-170, Wes, last week?
Yeah.
And that's gone. Somebody picked that up. And that was a good-looking guitar, wasn't it? With that pickguard, with the clear pickguard. Sweet.
Yeah. This one right here should have let me know, and I could have updated the site. Would have been good to do that.
Yeah. I like. You know what? That pickguard, I think I'd almost like to get some more of those for some of these other guitars. It's really pretty. So you can see the wood and everything. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, let's play. You want to play a jazz tune on this?
Yeah, why don't we play Wave and then talk about our Guitar College live class coming up. How about that?
Okay.
Let's do that.
Okay, good. Let's do that.
So we're doing a live class, before you just jump right into it, on this song that we're about to play right now. It's called Wave. It's got some challenging chord changes. It's a standard everyone needs to know, and we're going to be doing a live class on it in just less than 1 week, 6 days from now, next Wednesday. So here's the tune, and it's a great tune. You're going to love it.
Yeah, Wave. It's got some trick. Some parts are easy. Some are very tricky. So I like to always start with the tricky parts. But that sure didn't sound like Wave. Yeah, darn it. Here we go. you know what? It's still got a hint of distortion going on there, I guess this thing doesn't turn off. Anyway, there it is. Yeah, Wave is a rough little tune. So Tim Patchen had a wonderful expression. Treat every chord as an island. And that's kind of what you have to do. There's not a whole lot connected. Really, when you think about it, if you just do your duty on each chord as it flies by. Okay, it's hard to get that get any one scale that's going to fit the whole group of things. So yeah, you have to learn how to switch, and there's some tricks to that. And I don't want to give it away, but there's some tricks like, especially on this part here, but when the song goes F sharp to D, I mean F sharp to B, to E, to B flat, to A, to D minor. So navigating through those chord changes can be quite tricky, and you need to practice that. And I'm going to give you a lot of ideas for that. Okay, so yeah, please join us. It's a lot of fun at those classes.
Yeah, they're live on Zoom, so anyone can join. They're $44, and yeah, you just click here, sign up, and then once you sign up, you'll get an email with a Zoom link, and the Zoom link will take you to the class on next Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific. You'll also get there's also some materials that come with the class. You prepare several, last time I had several PDFs or, one or two depending on what it is, but music sheets, practice tracks, the video recording of the class comes out, right after it's over, so you can watch it again and again and again until you really soak up the information. So that's all included in the bundle there for $44. You get a Dropbox link, and the Dropbox link has all the materials in the lesson, and you just download them to your computer so you can have them and look them over while he's doing the lesson. So pretty cool stuff. You'll be in the group. There's usually anywhere from 10 to 25 people, so you get to ask questions. We'll take a little break, in the middle of it. So it's pretty fun for sure.
Yeah, big fun. And Rob Riggs is usually there, and Jim Rolfe, and Locke. Andrew's usually there. It's really fun. Well, I just saw a name here, Tom Galore. Tom, are you the drummer that I played with for years? Is that you on this guitar chat? Please answer me. I hope it is.
And then David Moore said, "Are you still selling those Quilter amps? And did the pricing change?"
Not really. The Mach 3, I think, has gone up a little bit. That was the only one made in China. So that's the other ones aren't. So they have Aviator Cub is a very nice amp that's very accessible. It's only like $650, I think, something like that, and that's a lot of amplifier for the money. So there's that, and then they have all these other little tiny. They got an amplifier the size of a pedal. If you have a speaker box, they got all these crazy things. So, and Pat Quilter is freaking genius, So there's some videos on Pat modeling amplifiers, and they don't really model. The quilter doesn't model amplifiers. What they do is something like they adjust the capacitors to make the sound like some of these old amps. A Fender Blonde amp, a Fender Tweed, a black that amp, black face, something like that. So I don't know.
Pat asked here, what if you don't subscribe to Dropbox? That's a good point there. You do not have to subscribe to anything Dropbox. You'll get a link, and then anyone who has a link can go there and then download it. You don't need to log into an account or anything like that. It's just it's free. So good to go. Good question, Pat. Way to go.
Yeah, Pat, you did it, boy.
By the way, Pat, we haven't seen you on one of these yet.
Yeah,
so what the heck?
heck?
Yeah, now I'm since you don't need to subscribe to Dropbox. I know that was holding you back, but
yeah. So okay, this is Tom. Tom, me and Jim Rolfe played in a band a long time ago in another life, and Tom was an excellent drummer. Laid it down like a cheap carpet. Really solid drummer, and so had a lot of fun back in the day. Okay, that was in Thousand Oaks. Let's talk about next week with Peter coming in for a chat. Peter Hendrickson is going to be here.
He's not going to be here with us. He's going to be on Zoom.
He'll be on Zoom.
We're going to interview him.
Right, but he will be in the TV. So that's a great time to ask questions to Peter about his amplifiers. He's got a great story about how his father started the whole thing. And they've just been growing like crazy. Did you see their new place, Wes? Did you go out there and see it?
No.
Oh, okay. I was thinking you did. So they have a much bigger facility now. They're just going to town. And so they have some wonderful amplifiers. So nowadays, I tell you, between Quilter and Hendrickson, you got some really solid amplifiers. I mean, I've been playing my Quilter for easy 10 years, and it's been living in the back of my car, and that thing has been really well. So I think Peter's going to try to get us a couple amplifiers, so we'll have them here as well. So that'll be good. So be sure to tune in next week for that, for our live stream. Which brings us to another topic. We've been saying that we really have to have a name for this show. We don't know what it's called. And so we're thinking we need a name for this show. Right, Wes?
Yep.
So, like maybe you guys could come up with a name for this thing.
So we don't have to do any work.
Yeah. Well, so, yeah. So.
No, I know you guys got good ideas, so let us have them.
Yeah. What would be it? I originally called it just the guitar chat, jazz guitar chat. I think something like that. And then it became the live stream. But I guess we ought to have a real name for it, So if you can think of some good names or even some bad names, let us know. That would be great. Okay. Let's
Lachlan asked which quilter lives in your trunk.
It's a Mach 2, which they don't make anymore. It's got an 8-inch speaker, and It lives in the trunk. It's just a solid amp. It always works. A friend of mine he's got 3 of them. Mike Dana. I think he had a problem with one of them and sent it back. They fixed it like that, a little something with the reverb, and they took care of it. Peter's the same way. You got a problem. They stand by their stuff, so no worries. And they're not such a big company that you get a roll-in or something like that. Good luck getting it fixed. You just can't. Hey, call up the roll-in company in Japan and say, hey, so guitar capers. I like that. So they could. Feel very confident in buying either one of those. If you, I can get any Quilter amp for you, and as well as if you put in a coupon code of Guitar College, 2025?
2502.
2502. Guitar College 2502. You get a discount on your total price. You buy that directly from Peter at Hendrickson Amplifiers. Okay, there you have it.
Awesome.
Yep. Let's see. Let me play another tune on this guitar. Boy, I tell you, man, if you want an L5, you should really think about one of these. I know it's not as decked out, but it sure is sweet guitar. Don't you think, Wes?
Yeah, they're great. They are not going to let you down, that's for sure. Never seen one that didn't sound super good. What song are you thinking about playing?
Well, I had it on my list. There Will Never Be Another You, which I have all these versions of it, but I just made a new one because... Where'd it go? Because I wanted it to... Oh, shoot. I don't think I got it on here. Oh, darn it. Let's see if this is it. Uh-oh. No, that ain't it. Sorry, guys. We're not so slick here. Yeah, I had another version of that. I went and made another one this morning, and I made it faster because I like to play at about 200. And you cut and paste it, and I cut it, but I forgot to paste the damn thing on there. Anyway, so hey, Wes, I think we got some names here.
Yeah. They're coming in.
Come on, let's hear them.
Y-
Track is a little loud.
Okay, let's see. Names here: Barry H, Jazz Corner, awesome, thank you. Pat Evans, Rich Live, better than AI. Barry H, Jazz Lab. Jazz Lab was one that actually came up in ChatGPT. 6-string sessions with the Seversons, love it.
Oh, that's a lot of S's in that.
GC Jazz Chat from Dawn.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Jim. Dawn, yeah. Yowzer, you're really smoking on that tune. Well, thank you, Lewis. Appreciate it. How's your legs, Lewis? You okay? Broke his leg or something. Skiing. I said, if God wanted you to ski, he'd give you webbed feet. So, I played a couple gigs yesterday. So, the gigs I played, I went and did a retirement home. And it was quite interesting. I came to the conclusion that I haven't been playing enough. I get up in the morning and I'll play maybe sometimes a half an hour, sometimes an hour and a half, and that's about it. And then whatever happens during the day, it's, I haven't been doing too many lessons or any of that kind of stuff or videos. So usually you have your hands on the guitar for, if you start doing that stuff, three hours a day or so. And so I just kind of I thought, God dang it, man, some of these things I can't play anymore. And I realized, I came home complaining about that to Gail. And, you compensate as you get older. You can't do this one thing this way. This chord is hard for me to do anymore. So I do it like this. And, but then I started this morning thinking, well, my hand feels good from playing a lot. So I'm thinking maybe I just need to play more, 2-3 hours a day. So I'm going to start doing that and see what happens. Inflammation is a drag. So the ice water, bucket of ice water, stick your hand in there and make that hand kind of get the swelling down. That helps a lot. So I'll let you know how it turns out in a couple of weeks.
got a number one thing, man, is the diet. The diet.
Oh, I've been working on a diet thing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
Jazz stream.
Yeah, I like Gordon's here, the real jazz guitar show. That's great. I
Oh,
like that.
that's real good. Yeah, that's really good. I think he needs a cookie. Go ahead and get yourself a cookie for that one. That was really good.
Nice work there. Jazz stream live with Rich. That's pretty cool too.
Yeah, it is. Maybe we can combine all of them. All things Archtop guitars. All things Archtop guitars. Nice. Okay. Yeah, keep them coming. Keep them coming. Cut out the sushi. Must have been that gas station sushi I had. I'm not much of a sushi eater. Do you eat sushi, Wes?
Yeah. It's great. Love it.
Yeah. I'm going to switch guitars, Wes.
All right, do it.
Do you have something you want to talk to them about?
I will figure something out, man. Thank
Good.
you, sir. Julian Lodge is going on tour. In case you guys didn't know, he's got a bunch of tour dates for this summer coming out, including a few spots in California. If you guys are here on the West Coast, he'll be doing like an acoustic guitar festival in Monterey. And then he's going to be playing in our neck of the woods here at Fremont Theater in San Luis Obispo. So yeah, pretty cool. Julian Lodge, definitely a great new modern jazz artist. So if you haven't checked his stuff out, he plays a Telecaster, by the way. But he's very, very cool. Let's see. There was a recent Guns N' Roses concert in Saudi Arabia that was so hot that it melted the guy's pickups on stage. Richard Fortis is the guitar player now for Guns N' Roses, and yeah, check out his guitar. Look at what happened after the show.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yep, that's what happens. So, so yeah, as you can see, melted with wax, covered in wax. This was at their show in Saudi Arabia, the Mohammed Abdu Arena. The band had come on stage after 10 p.m., but apparently it was like 113 all day throughout the day. So they didn't really say what temperature it was at while they were playing, but I assume it would be probably about 105. Let's see. It says for the uninitiated wax, typically a blend of paraffin and beeswax is used within pickups to limit vibrations, and the melting point is around 115 to 154 degrees usually. So it had to get at least 115 degrees, and so yeah, they're trying to figure out what happened, but maybe he was just cooking, you know. So we were talking earlier about songs from the 50s, and I bet you've never seen this dance done to this song in this way. Check this out. Hopefully this works.
Hey, play
anyway.
the sax solo. It's coming up. You cut it off too soon.
Yep.
Oh, that's interesting. Crazy guy.
And then if you're in the market for a new L5, here you go. This is the one you should get. Now, what in God's name was this person thinking? Try to explain that one.
Yeah, that's interesting. Why would you even do that? I wonder if he had a floating one on the front.
Well, no, I'm sure
No,
I'm sure it was a custom
it
thing.
had to have been. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no switch for two pickups.
Yeah, beautiful secondhand Gibson L5 custom in a 1 of 1 red finish, huh?
Yeah, I don't think I'd buy that guitar. I don't get why you would want the pickup down there.
Yeah. Anyone got any ideas who that would like? I don't know. Maybe some country guy, some rich country guy wanted that or something. Does country guys do they even use the or the rockabilly guys? Do they even use the front pickup?
Well,
The
the
twangers.
twangers like to use the two pickups combined. Yeah, but not just the back pickup. That I don't know, boy.
Yeah.
I could see people's faces as that guitar went through the line as a custom order.
All right.
I didn't know they were doing custom orders back then.
Yeah. Well, what year is that red one that you have? That was around that same time period, right?
Yeah, but that was like a company NAMM show deal. I think mine's in that 2002, I think. Something like that.
Anyway, there you go. If you're looking for a rare guitar, that's the one for you.
Yeah. Okay, so Dick Clark said he had to know the most important record in rock and roll history is, do you know, Wes?
No.
The Twist.
Nice.
The Twist. And the reason is because before that, race music, if you will, that's what it was called, rock and roll, considered it race music. It was unacceptable to middle America. But when the Twist came around, everybody was doing the Twist, even the Queen of England. So it kind of brought rock and roll into a legitimate spotlight. The Twist. Chubby Checker. I never got to play with him, but I sure would have liked to. I love that. I knew a bass player that did for a long time. But I'm trying to think the guy that wrote The Twist. The country, well, he's not a country, kind of a quasi-country guy. What is his name? Anyway, I knew another guy who played with this guy. Can you look up who wrote that tune? I can't remember. Or maybe somebody out there can.
Hank Ballard.
Hank Ballard, yeah. So Hank Ballard, he wrote the tune, and I had met a guy that played with him, and I said, "How does he feel about Chubby Checker having that big hit?" And he said, "Well, he was kind of really ticked off, but when the checks started coming in, he realized he couldn't have done that. It was needed Chubby Checker to do that, and he loves the money." So, Hank Ballard, yeah. Sometimes it's best to have somebody else do your music, huh? Whew. Yeah, so. Yeah, an L5 with only one pickup in the wrong place. Yeah, so that isn't exactly a West Montgomery, is it? I don't know what you'd call that thing. The only dance I know is the Twist, and I use it on waltzes. When I do the Twist, I go like this, and Gil says I look like I'm driving a bus. Yeah, Dick Clark gave Chubby Checker his name, right? There was Fats Domino, and so Dick Clark said, you ought to go with Chubby Checker. Isn't that interesting? I love that I love the sax solo for those old tunes, man. They play about 3 notes, except they've got these little trills in there. That the twist again is a little different. The twist is, I forget how it goes. Anyway, all right. So this guitar, another Guild, a 1960, and I've had this for a while. We've had it on our websites. Nobody's jumped on it. It plays freaking great. It's got a wonderful, wonderful tone. Original bridge. These are the say it again, Wes.
Lawler
pickups. I had to have this pick guard made for it. And there you have it. It's a solid guitar, original tuners. Shall we play a tune on this?
Yeah. Anybody got any requests here?
Yeah. This is Beautiful Love. We could play that. Yeah. Stop. That is a cool little tune. And it's in the alphabet order. It's in the B's. It's easy to find. Dave Smith wrote, Jeannie Pisano once told me the Beautiful Love was Joe Pass's favorite song. I had heard that before. You're absolutely right. So,
yeah, this guitar's, if you're interested in this guitar, it's for sale on our page. If you guys don't know already, guitarcollege.com/for sale is where you go to look at all of our guitars for sale, which we have a lot. And we haven't talked about many of them, but there's a lot to choose from here. Plus, you can order D'Angelicos from us, and you can probably order a Heritage 575 from us, brand new.
Right.
So anyway, go to the website and check it out. This one, this one's been on here for a while, and oops, that's the wrong one. Sorry. Oh, maybe I got it mixed up here. But yeah, this thing's sweet. It's got a cool look to it.
mm-hmm.
Where was that made? Is that USA?
Oh, yeah. 1960, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, so pretty cool little guitar for under $2,000.
Mm-hmm.
It's got cool. I like the.
And it's not going to go down in value, you know.
Yeah, the back's sweet, man. It's
Yeah.
got a cool looking back for sure. Great piece of wood on the back. But anyway, if you're interested, guitarcollege.com/for sale, and you can check it out.
Mm-hmm. This here it is with the. That's the two positions, and here's the back pickup. Oh yeah, we can also get Eastmans for you too, and we've sold them all. We need to get some more. It's live from Atascadero. It's the Rich and West Show. So yeah, this is a real fun guitar. Check this out though. Somebody carved what? Can you get a picture of that? Oh, there it is. Maybe right about there. Oh, it's hard to see. Anyway.
Here, put it to this one.
Oh, it's down here. They carved their name in here. Do you see that? It says Kate. Yeah. Boy, that's a nice piece of mahogany too, man. Look at that. That's beautiful. It's a nice guitar, real nice. All right, so we have one left that we're going to explore, and that is the Gibson 350 right behind my head there. We'll get into that one.
Great. So we have our Jazz Guitar Accelerator program, guys. If you're looking for to get serious about jazz guitar over the summer, we have some openings, few slots available. So this is a one-on-one coaching program, 20 sessions. You pay it all up front, and we take you down the road you want to go down. So it's up to you. It's focused on your skill level, on what you want to learn. Some guys are, wanting to spend time on improv. Others wanting to do chord melody stuff, finger style kind of stuff. Whatever it is, your goal is people wanting to just learn tunes so they can play out. People wanting to add songs to their already formulated set lists, whatever it may be, we can help. So all you got to do is just go down and go to jazzguitaraccelerator.com and click on schedule a Zoom call, and we'll sit down and chat with you guys and see if you're a good fit for the program. And it's quite a bit of work, so you'll have to practice every day. But man, it's a real fast way to get better. So, yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Wes. Yeah, the idea is to submerge yourself in guitar for. Actually, we were saying maybe 10 weeks, 10, 12 weeks, something like that. 3-4 months, and just really get it down, so then you can have fun with once you get past these barriers. You know what I mean? And then you can coast for a while. Of course, you never coast. Because as soon as you learn something, you realize you don't know something else. And not as good anyways as you want to. Yikes! Yeah, so... Oh yeah, this is the tone knob. And then these are the volume for this and volume for that. Simple. You've got a nice big fat tone, doesn't it? So, the second gig I did yesterday, I forgot to talk about this, was a songwriter showcase. And back in my younger days, I used to do several of these things, and I was really into songwriting. And did a lot of songwriting, and that's a very hard way to make a living. It's very hard. And, when you think about how much time you spend on it and then the outcome, you can't give up, though, because it's something you got to do or you want to do it anyways at the time. And I wrote a lot of tunes. Had a couple songs in a B movie once. That's about it, So, and Lord knows I tried to get tunes out there, but it's very hard. Especially if you're writing country, for a while there, country in LA, you could do something. But now it's all Nashville. And Nashville, we don't import music, we export music. So you want to be a Nashville songwriter?
I don't know how legit all that is nowadays, though. I mean, there's so many people out there that are independent artists that have gotten huge just from just playing on YouTube.
Well, that's true, but
it's not I don't think the songwriter game is exactly how it is back then, especially with streaming and all that. I think the amount of tunes that people are producing is like 10 times more than, back in when you're talking, people made an album every couple years. Mm-hmm. But now it's like people are putting out singles and 15 singles in a year, and more. So it's different, I think now. It's I don't know that it's like you gotta. There's other ways to break in, is what I'm saying. It's not just like if you don't get your country song handed to a producer in Nashville, you'll never get your country song produced. That's maybe in the 80s, 90s, but there's some big name radio guys in country music that were discovered on YouTube.
Well, yeah, that's true. As artists or
songwriters too. I mean, songwriters too is like, hey, they wrote a song and cut a demo and made a video for it, and then someone saw the video and heard the song and they recut it.
Well, that's cool. I'd like to see who it was.
So I think that's what you need, a really solid demo first off in this day and age, it's if you have a good demo and someone happens to hear and it's a good song, you have a pretty good shot of someone going, I like that. Well,
that would be that'd be cool. That'd be cool. Yeah, I'd like to see that.
Plus, the thing about songwriting too is there's not many other jobs out there that where you might struggle for a little bit at the beginning, but if you hit it big, man, you hit it big.
Sure.
There's people out there living off of one song that they wrote, still getting paid for it, So it's like that. It's almost like gold mining or something,
Pretty much
where
is.
you can gold mine and make a good living, and then once you hit that pocket of gold, boom, you're set.
Mm-hmm. Huh.
I just always feel like you always have a negative connotation to associated with songwriting and how it's so hard, and like, why would anyone want to do it then? If it's just so hard and like no one ever makes it, and like, oh man, like.
Well, it's like, why would anybody want to play guitar? It's so hard to really play it, But yeah, it's something you got to do. You want to do it, So.
But I mean, see, the mindset of always thinking that it's going to be so hard is going to put you in that loop of, oh, it is so hard. Whereas if you had a different outlook on it, like, hey, I could get in there, I could break in, a little optimism about that field, you would have a lot better chance of getting noticed. But if you already automatically made the judgment in your head that you're never going to make any money on it, then you're probably not going to make any money on it,
True. Yeah, you do have to be positive, no doubt about it. Yeah. Well, anyway, my experience has been that, and I've known guys that have done a lot of writing and nothing, no matter what they did, it was rough. But like, here's a fella that Eddie Davis says, his friend that wrote some tunes for Huey Lewis.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. You're writing for 18, 20 years. You put in a good living writing tunes, and you, boom, hit your retirement with Huey Lewis in the news. Now you don't have to worry about money anymore for a little while, at least,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, have you ever tried to sell any of your tunes?
No, because I mean, for one, your tunes have to be really good too. So I don't think that my songs are up to par yet. Plus, the demo, you have to have a really killer demo, or you have to have a really beautiful voice and I do not have a beautiful voice to perform live and get like noticed that way. So for me, it's like, I'd have to, just got to crank out some good sounding demos, and like, I wouldn't pitch them to people that way. I would think you would have more success just with a organic grassroots, like, hey everybody, here's my songs, like, put them on YouTube and ask your friends to share them and that sort of thing, or maybe hire a publishing company to. That's another thing too, is like, you can't expect to do all of that work yourself. If you're writing the songs and expected to writing songs, and then now all of a sudden you have to have a music business degree to navigate publishing and rights and lawyers and this, and like, that's a whole nother job in itself.
Oh yeah.
So there would need to be some sort of investment, I would think. Like, if I was really to go for it, I would think that I would probably need to invest $10,000 into, a demo and some, like, an agent or a publishing company or a distribution company for sure. And then I bet once you did that, things would start snowballing pretty quick for you.
Yeah, it's well, interesting. back in the day when I was doing it, at that time, you could actually go. I mean, this is in the 70s. You could actually go into a publisher's office or a record office and talk to somebody. BMI helped me out a lot. Even ASCAP. You could go to ASCAP or BMI. And BMI, they thought my writing was good enough, and they sent me to, they paid for me to go to a songwriting school thing, you know. So that was nice. And so I did that. It's just, it's you got to be able to tough it out, as you said, you know. I remember hearing one guy say, if you really want to get into and make it songwriting, you probably ought to quit everything else you do and live in your car, and then you're forced to really break down some barriers and get in there and have people hear your stuff, you know. But there's so much, there's so many record companies and publishers are so afraid of people being sued, you know. This is the skinny I got from Pat Flynn and another guy, Doug Merrick, who was. But that's what he did. He employed songwriters. But nowadays, when you try to get in, they won't accept unsolicited material. They won't even, unless you know somebody and stuff. They don't even put a tape on or don't put anything on their door because they're afraid of being sued. Somebody else comes out with a song with the same title or something like that, or even though you can't copyright a title, but there's the chance of being sued, so they're so afraid of that. That's what I've heard. But anyway.
Well, I mean, in a big record company like that, why? I don't know necessarily that like they have such a big network of songwriters that they can depend on that they. Do they really even need I'm going to search through this pile of CDs and see if these demos are good?
No,
That's just a waste of their time in a production in a big, Sony music type of, huge company like that. So I mean, I can see that being the case. Is like, why even mess with it?
Yeah,
just throw them away. And call this other person, and they'll be in the studio tomorrow with a song that I know is going to be in the top 10, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, Nashville's would be a really tough place to break into, no doubt. I mean, it's just like you said, how it is. It's very closed off, but there are some really creative stuff that in the country realm that's beyond Nashville that I think people are in Nashville are taking notice of, that like if they want to keep making relevant stuff, they're going to have to, it's like politics. The party stays strong forever and then they break up and have to look elsewhere. Let's see. Nashville has an old saying. Greg says it's a big funnel. Lots of songs go in and a few drop out the bottom. Hi, Kirby has a question here. Rich, quick question. Are we responsible for knowing the counter melodies on the camp song Tangerine?
Not necessarily, but that's like extra credit. You know what I mean? So, if it strikes you to do that, then yeah. Otherwise, yeah, no, you're not. You're not going to get points against you. If you will. So no worries. You want to just be able to play the melody, be able to play the chords, and you're good. And if you can do a little improv, that's even better. So don't stress about it. But if you could play the counter melodies or something like the counter melodies, then that would be to your benefit. So does that answer your question? I hope so. Okay, so this guitar has been around for a while now. You know that? Got a nice hefty neck. It's got the original P90s. It's an ES350. It's had I believe, a neck reset, which is fine. That means it's not going to fall off again. It's not going to go south. And it's been a fun guitar. I don't play it much though. It's a pretty sounding guitar. Let me play it. Somebody had a request for Patrick Evans. What did he request?
Lil Darlin'.
Oh, yeah. Let me see if I've got that in here, Pat. I'd like to use the track with that. A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. Little Darlin'. kind of getting into that one. I wasn't ready to end that. That's a cool little tune, man. Okay. Well, we got any other questions? Any big things out there?
Not that I see.
No? Well, this guitar right here, let's tell you what. If you have any questions about any of these guitars, just give me a jingle, and we'll talk. Matter of fact, I've done this with several guys. If they really want to get a deep dive into the guitar, we'll set up a little Zoom time, and then you can look at everything and make sure it's right for you. Done that several times. This guitar, what year is this? This is a 1951 guitar. Yeah. So it's got. I love this thing right here where you can dial in the back pickup. Get different tones. Yeah. That song was put out in 1951. Hey, good looking. So I was put out in 1951. So was this guitar and that song. Isn't that funny? Ha ha ha. Well, guys, I think we ought to probably wrap it up here. What do you think, Wes?
Yeah, let's do it.
I really appreciate you guys showing up. And remember, we got the live class coming up on Wave. And I think you're going to get a lot of good ideas. And it's not just for Wave. Those ideas can be transferred over to a lot of other songs. So I want you to think about it. I'd be really happy to have you. And anyway, we'll see you next time.